This ESPN Honolulu segment on demand is brought to you by Rivals Waikiki, Hawaii's premier sports lounge.
You know, we have one of the best champions ever to be in the UFC, a stand-up guy. You know, the guy's a world champion, and let's just get right to this. So we got to start it off with something fresh, right now. Yeah. Is this the introduction we all need? Yeah. Everybody knows what's going on because Max Holloway is joining the show right now. The undisputed featherweight champion of the world is on Hit the Bell. Welcome to the show, Max.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. What an introduction.
Oh, well, the champion deserves the best, right?
That's the best. The best. To be the best, you got to beat the best. The best is blessed.
And the best is blessed, man. Yes, it is.
When you hear that, something's about to happen.
That's very true. We've gotten used to this. You know, your walkout song is legendary. Every single time we hear it, people over here get goosebumps. And you've never changed it. You know, we see people walk out to different songs. You like to come out to probably one of your favorite hip hop songs at the moment. But let's not get it twisted. Here comes Hawaiian Kickboxer. Right after that song is halfway through. You don't change the stripes, my friend.
Nah, not at all. It's something that you got to do, you know. I do, like you said, I put my favorite hip-hop song in before, and right after we hear that sweet Hawaiian Kickboxing, that's when a big smile comes to my face, and I know it's game time.
You know, it's almost ready to eat some cupcakes. That's what it feels like.
Yes, sir. Cupcakes, you already know. You know, I can't wait for this cupcake. This cupcake on Saturday supposedly say is packing a punch, so I don't know the flavor yet, but if I had to guess, I'll guess a vanilla cupcake with habanero in it, so I'm excited for it.
A spicy of a cupcake, man. You know what? I was going to ask you about that. Looking at what Alex Volkanovski has said on Embedded, that he's packing that Hawaiian punch. You know, he's packing it ready to go. That's what Brian Ortega didn't have. That's what Frankie Edgar didn't have. They didn't have that power. The former rugby player says he has this power. You know, is that the only thing in store that makes you kind of just prepare for him a little differently than your prior opponents?
You know, that's cool. He said Hawaiian Punch. I love Hawaiian Punch. I recently got to taste the green Hawaiian Punch, and I kind of love that one too. So if he's a new flavor Hawaiian Punch, then I'm excited to try it.
You know, I'm excited to see this fight. I've been excited for a long time. Volkanovski has been climbing the ranks, 17 straight wins, 7-0 in the UFC, but that's just a number. And when I look at his record, I see that he's literally fought two names in the UFC. He might be 7-0, but his last two fights, Chad Mendes and Jose Aldo, that's pretty much his resume, if you ask me. And when you look at your resume, holy smokes, it's a graveyard because you've put them all away. And you see Frankie Edgar, you see Brian Ortega, you see Jose Aldo, the legend, twice. Respect to Aldo. Anthony Pettis, Ricardo Lamas, Jeremy Stevens, Charles Oliveira. Come on, man. Cub Swanson, Andre Touchy-Feely. You have put those guys away. That is what I call one of the best resumes in MMA today. You know, whenever you look back to all those names, what fight stands out to you the most where you just kind of look back in your mind and say, holy smokes, I whooped that guy's ass?
Man, I don't. You know, you can't when you trying to strive to be the greatest in whatever you do. You cannot sit back and watch your work. You know, I can sit back and watch my work when I'm done retiring, when it's all said and done. But right now, there's no fight really that sticks out above the rest. You know, they're all the same fights. I go into every single fight 0-0, and that's how I keep my head straight. You know, and you know, George St. Pierre said it. You know, when it comes to title, it's easy to earn a title. It's hard to defend because you're essentially re-earning what you already have, you know, and at the end of the day, that's how come I got one of the best teams. We sit down, we figure out what kind of question this guy presents, what kind of problems he presents, and we figure it out. You know, we do our formula testing. We're like mad scientists, and hopefully we get the answer. You know, come December 14th, we get to find out, and I'm excited. You know, this is, if you want to be the greatest of all time, you got to fight the number one contenders. You got to fight the guys who everybody think is the best guys. And that's what I want to do. You know, I got a lot more guys left to do. You guys know this sport. Every 2 weeks there's a new cupcake flavor, and I'm excited to try them all.
Yeah, that's what makes you great. I think the fact that you don't run away from fights, the fact that you're the guy who wants to step up and fight Khabib Nurmagomedov, you know, win or lose against Tony Ferguson coming up next year. That's who you are. That's why the whole UFC loves you. That's why Daniel Cormier thinks you're one of the best MMA fighters to ever live. Kung Fu Panda has your back, and that says a lot because he's one of the best ever as well. You associate yourself with the best MMA fighters in the world, and you have their respect, and you're still such a young man. I think that going back to, and you look at your career, I think that is something that stood out to me the most watching you fight and thinking, man, Max is only like 24 years old right now. Like, what the hell is going on? He's fighting like a 31-year-old guy, a champion. Your fighter IQ is out the roof. You don't get too high. You don't get too low. Your emotions are always on check. You're not like Colby freaking Covington, the fake American dream who's calling out guys left and right, and he just seems like he's jumping out the roof every single day. You just kind of keep it level-headed right there in the middle, and then once it comes down to fight, you hear that Hawaiian kickboxer, and you're ready to go, man. It's like, lights on, baby.
100%. 100%. I know what work got me here. I know what work I need to put on to stay here, and I want to stay here for a long time. I got, like I said, you guys, not that many people know my team because they like to stay behind the scenes, and they like to give the shine all to me. But don't get it twisted. These guys behind me, they keep me who I am. Daily remind me about the work I need to do, and they keep me in check.
I'm watching UFC Embedded yesterday, watching all the episodes, kind of catching up Mondays and Tuesdays, and I see your boy Baby Godzilla jumping in the jacuzzi. You guys are jumping in the jacuzzi and jumping in that cold water, it seemed like. I didn't even know that jacuzzi was so cold until, Baby Godzilla jumps in there, and he can't even be in there for 1 minute, like 10 seconds, and he's jumping back into the hot tub. That was pretty fun to see you and your team have some fun stuff. Also during fight week, you guys went for an awesome hike around the Red Rocks. Gotta say, I'm loving this, man. I'm loving that you guys are getting out there and not just being so indoors and just kind of thinking about this fight the entire time. It's kind of like letting loose and letting your mind wander a little bit before the big day comes Saturday.
Oh, 100%. That's what we always do. The fight, you can't get around the fight. The fight has a set date, and that's it. The fight's gonna be Saturday. So why are you gonna just keep thinking about something that you can't change? There's nothing to worry about until we get there. So we like having fun. We come in early. Make sure to go check out my YouTube, Max Holloway, and go see that hike that he's talking about, Hiker Holloway and his pro tips. We got you guys on any future hikes you guys want to do. I got the pro tips in there, and it might save some lives.
We are talking to Max Holloway, the undisputed featherweight champion of the world in the UFC. The guy has great personality. He's definitely one of the best MMA fighters to ever live. I like to think of him as a legend. That's just the way it goes. Max, when you look at this upcoming fight, you're the co-main event. That's blasphemy, man. That's ridiculous. You should be the main event over Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman. Respect to those guys as well. But when you heard that you were the co-main event, were you just like, why ain't I the main event, Dana?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is. If it's, I'm more importantly, I was, if we can't get a UFC Hawaii, this is the next best thing. Night Island. You guys know our connection with Vegas is so strong. When I go out there, it's not gonna be no different. There's gonna be a bunch of Hawaiians. I know a bunch of Hawaiians that's flying out. I know a bunch of Hawaiians that's here, and flags gonna be in the arena. It's gonna be crazy. They're gonna make me feel like home. I wish I was the first fight of the night, to be honest, so I could, get in there, do my job, come back to the room, enjoy some pizza and candy with my friends, and and do that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's just another fight. I don't care. I'm still getting the push, like I'm the main event, so it doesn't really bother me.
One final question for you. I know that you've been doing interviews probably all day long. I'm not going to ask you how you're feeling before this fight because you're probably hungry and you don't want to talk to that many people because you're ready for some cupcakes. But the question I'm curious about the most, my friend, is this your last fight at featherweight? And I know that you're not going to say, yeah, sure, like anybody's next. But my question really relies on, do you think that Zabit Magomed Sharapov, Yair Pantera Rodriguez, Korean Zombie, do those guys move the needle for you right now? Or do you look towards the future and say, I want Ferguson, I want Justin Gaethje, or I want Khabib Nurmagomedov?
We see it happen, whatever the UFC want to do. Whoever, my goal is to be one of the greatest of all time in this era. When I'm able to fight, I want to be one of the best fighters there ever was in MMA. And whoever the fans, whoever UFC thinks so is the best guys, then I'll fight them. At the end of the day, we got Alex first things first, business as usual come Saturday, and then we sit down and talk, you know. But my goal will never ever change. It's always going to be, I want to be the best mixed martial artist ever, in this era at least, you know, and we'll go from there.
All right, Max. Hey, I just want to thank you for joining on Hit the Bell this Wednesday night. I know that all the people here on Hawaii is excited to hear about you and excited for this fight this coming Saturday. UFC 245, it's going to be on fire because you're on it, my friend. Thanks a lot for joining Hit the Bell. Thank you.
Thank you, my friends. Happy holidays.